Alright, what is going on, my people? Hope you're all doing well. Now, I thought I'd just make a quick video on how to stack your trades and how to enter multiple positions on a winning setup. And let's get straight into that video. So, to properly stack trades, you must be able to identify structural breaks and changes of characters, yeah? Properly. This was taught in the first lesson on market structure. Now, I know when I was teaching market structure, I was simply calling them continuation break of structures and reversal break of structures. But just to um, remove the confusion between the two, right? We call this a change of character. So simply when price is moving in an uptrend and in a break structure to the downside, we call that a change of character, right? Because it simply changed from an uptrend into a downtrend, okay? So here we have an example of a bullish breaker structure. As you can see, price is continuing to break the high, continuing to move over to the upside. In this case, we had an uptrend right here, and then boom, price broke below that low, and that's why we identified as a change of character. Now once we get that, that's when we start to look for a supply zone to then continue the sales over to the downside. Whereas in this example, when price breaks the high, we then identify a demand zone and wait for price to pull back into that demand zone to continue the wave over to the upside. But now let me show you guys an example that I have on GJ. Now let's take a look on GJ, right? First, let's head over to the 30-minute. And what can we identify? So ignore all of this. Let's focus on our supply and our demand levels, right? Here we clearly have a very nice indecision candle, right? This was the last candle before price broke structure, yeah? That was our supply zone. Now, I don't know if you lot remember, but I sent in the Discord this supply zone, and I told you guys to monitor this position. Now, I didn't monitor it either. I can't lie to you guys. I was simply watching gold at the time. However, if you were to monitor it, you could have gotten all of these positions here and all of these positions here, right? But anyways, so we had this supply zone marked out. We waited for price to tap into this supply zone before we made any decision. Now we also have these demand zones marked out, right? We have this demand zone here, we have this demand zone here. So anyways, let's zoom into this area right here, right? Let's break into the 5-minute. And then we look at how price reacted here. Alright, sweet. So remember guys, to be able to stack positions correctly, you have to make sure you're able to identify the changes of character and the breaks of structures in the markets, right? So once price tapped into this 30-minute supply zone, we didn't take sell straight away. I had up there, I'd like to wait and see how price plays within the zone, right? So once we got that reaction, we wait for a change of character. Now on the 5-minute, we have this low, that low. Once the first low is broken, that is what we classify as a change of character. It shows some willingness to change direction over to the downside, right? So once we identify this change of character, you could have gotten at this area of supply right here. Yeah, we have a very nice order block on the 5-minute. But then that order block can be refined, which I did on the 3-minute. Now if we head over to the 3-minute, what can we see? Look at that. You see this indecision candle right here? The body lies in the center and wicks on either side. However, you'd set your stop loss at the wick above here, right? So we took entry of this and we set a stop loss right there. Alright, but now let's remove replay mode and move over to the next position you could have stacked your trade in, right? So once you got that change of character, you could have gone at this area of supply right here. Now you wait for a breaker structure, right? You wait for this low to be broken to continue to stack in another entry. So once this low was broken at this point over here, we can then identify a nice area of supply right here, right? So if you mark out this area here and you mark out this area here, this is a bit more aggressive. I would allow your stop loss to have a bit more room and target this place here. So you set your stop loss right there and your entry right over here. So that would have been your second entry. And then we got another break of structure. Price continued to break that low. Now we have confirmed that we're in a downtrend, right? Because we had a break of structure here and another break of structure here. Now we identified this nice indecision candle that lied here. That was the last candle before this expansion which broke structure. Now we marked that out. Price then pulled back, as you can see. Let me remove this for now. Price pulled back into that area of supply. Stop loss at the wick, entry at the wick as well, and then we ride the move over to the downside. And now Remember the demand zones we had marked out, that would be your take profit points. So if we pull price back here, we had that first area of demand. So you could have gotten these three positions. This one was a 1 to 10, this one was a 1 to 13, and no, this one was a 1 to 9, and this one was a 1 to 13. So you're going to capitalize very nicely off this one move right here, taking profit at this demand. Now, back to the 5-minute. Now, once you take profit on these three positions, we wanted to wait and see how price reacts of this demand. Now, as you can see, we didn't get any reaction. Price simply went through that area of demand. So now we ignore this area of demand, right? As it's not valid anymore. Price simply broke straight through it. So it's not valid. But then price continued to move over to the downside and tap into this area of demand, right? Now, once we start to see some rejections of this area of demand, we wait for a change of character, okay? Now, as you can see, that was the lower high, and then we got an even lower high, right? And then once price reacted of this supply, we got that change of character right here. That lower high was broken and now created a higher high. So now we confirm that this last sell was the last sell before that change of character. So now this is our new area of demand that we're interested in. So now we wait for price to pull back into this area of demand, and then we look to go long, okay? And then you can simply target this area. Look, we got this imbalance right here, and we got this nice area of demand right over here, okay? See that? We got this imbalance and that nice area of, supply, yeah? So, once price taps into this higher time frame area of demand, we wait for that change of character that we got right there. Then we mark out the last demand zone before that change of character. Price pulls back into it. We could have got our entry right here, okay? And then when price broke this high, I was looking for this entry right here, but as you can see, price didn't come to it. It came to this area of demand instead. But anyway, so that would have been a missed entry. And then price broke, I don't know why I have it marked up here, but price broke this structure right here, yeah? Once we got that break of structure, we identified this very nice area of demand, okay? Price broke structure, pulled back into this area of demand, and then we could have went long here as well. And then what happened here? Price broke this high, break of structure. We also have some imbalance that needs to be filled in. So price pulls back, fills in that imbalance, and mitigates of this last area of demand. So this would have been your third entry point right here. And then again, this structure broken, right? This was the last candle before that break of structure, and as you can see, this was the last candle, and then we had imbalance right after. So we know price is going to come back, fill in this inefficient price action, and mitigate of this last area of demand. Now, if we look at the price cycle, this was our consolidation, expansion, retracement to fill in the inefficiency, and then reversal. Okay. Now, again, we had that area of supply marked out, but as you can see, once price pulled back and we went long here, price broke right through it. So now this area is no longer interesting to us. Now this structure was broken, and again, we want to continue the wave over to the upside because price hasn't broken any lows yet. Once a low is broken, then that would be a change of character, then we'll look to go short. But at this point over here, it reacted of this demand and now starting to move over to the upside again. Alright? So that is very straightforward. This is simply how you'd stack your trades. You'll simply mark out your higher time frame supply and demands, wait and watch how price reacts to the zones. You wait for a change of character. Once you get that change of character, then you mark out your areas, your new areas of supply and demand. Okay, so as you can see here, that was our area of demand. That was the last candle before that change of character. So you wait for price to pull back, mitigate that candle to ride the move over to the upside. This is how you maximize your risk to reward rather than entering on the higher time frame zones. If you entered here, okay, you could have went long here. I'm not saying you couldn't. You could go long here. But then look at the difference. You would have a 10 pip stop loss, and your TP would have been right there as well. Right? I'm just showing you the difference between an aggressive entry and a confirmation entry. Here you would have had a 10 pip stop loss, same TP, and your risk to reward would have been 1 to 7. Whereas if you waited for a confirmation entry like this one, you would have got a risk to reward of 1 to 20 with a 3 pip stop loss, right? So that's how you'd stack your positions. You'd wait for price to tap into a higher time frame zone, wait for a change of character. Once you get that change of character, you mark out the candle before that change of character, and in this case it was right here, right? And then you wait for continuous structural breaks. As you can see, this structure was broken. We look for the areas of supply and demand. In this case, we had a nice demand zone before that structural break right here. Price pulled back into it, went long again. This high was now broken. Imbalance was created. This area of demand was unmitigated. Price pulls back into it, mitigates to continue the wave over to the upside. It's very straightforward. This high was broken. We had some imbalance here, consolidation. Price pulls back, fills in the inefficient price action, taps into this unmitigated area of demand, and continues the move over to the upside. It's very simple and straightforward, guys. There's nothing to it. Same thing for the sells. Price tapped in here. We waited for that change of character. There was that 3-minute zone that we had marked out was unmitigated. We could have sold off here. This structure was now broken. Shows continuation of the move over to the downside. We had this unmitigated buy to sell. Price taps into it, sells off. Again, break of structure right here. Price pulls back, taps into it. It was a 3-minute zone. Price taps into it and then sells off. It's very straightforward, guys. And this is all it takes for you to stack positions into a winning setup. You wait for that reaction of the lower time frame. Okay, wait for that change of character. Mark out your new zone. And then you'll go long or short from there, depending on the sentiment that the market is in. I hope that made it very straightforward for you guys, and I hope that did help a lot in terms of how to re-enter in the market, how to find just simply how to stack more positions into your trade to maximize the percentage or gains that you can get from each setup. Alright, I hope you lot enjoyed this video. Take care.